Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another episode of your favorite podcast, Futon Talks. I'm your host. As always, my name is Josh Castro. I'm joined, also as always, by my wonderful co-host, Christopher Midling.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, that's the hellos I like to hear, Chris. Now I can start my day, just like you guys can start your day, with Futon Talks on the commute. On your walk to school, while you're doing construction work perhaps, while you're doing the dishes, anything. We are perfect for any situation.
That's true.
For the present, for the past, for the future, perhaps approximately 2,000 years in the future, when we discover the Mass Effect relays, which is the topic of conversation today, the seminal RPG by BioWare, Mass Effect. Tell me, Chris, how do you feel about Mass Effect? Before we even do our 3 words, just tell me what Mass Effect made you feel.
I gotta take a drink before I start talking about this.
Too many words. You gotta wet the mouth.
That's right. Or I'll take a drink with my water bottle. It has one of our stickers on it. Hello.
Oh my gosh. Stickers like the ones you get when you subscribe to our Patreon?
Those ones.
Oh, baby, those are dope. I want one for my dog.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect
is a game that I missed completely.
Oh, that's what the show's about. I forgot.
That's right. This game is amazing.
Yes!
This game is like one of the best things I've ever played. It's so good.
I love this game.
It's so good.
I've been telling you for years.
I've been a fool this whole time.
This is my Resident Evil 4, Chris.
Honestly, I'm glad I missed it so that I could enjoy it on the Legendary Edition. But, man, it's so good. How'd they do it?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's not perfect.
No.
But it's amazing.
I love this game. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you feel the way you do. What a validation. It's like when I got married. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
But it's oh my gosh, it's good to hear. And like you said, not a perfect game. Not a perfect game. But it is wild to think that like the same studio that made this made Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect Andromeda
And Anthem.
And Anthem was the team that actually made Mass Effect. That was the Mass Effect team. Andromeda was a different team, technically. But, man, blows my mind. But that maybe is a discussion for a different day. But, yeah, so
maybe
glad.
In a couple days when we cover the EA E3 event.
Perhaps.
Hello. There we go.
Perhaps.
Sorry.
What if they do a Dragon Age trilogy remaster? 1, 2, and Inquisition.
Ugh. I mean, who cares?
A legendary edition.
Like I said, just bring back Dead Space for a trilogy. A remaster, remake, port, I don't care. Just bring it back.
Just give me anything. Coasters.
Anything.
I'll take coasters.
We'll talk about it later with how they dealt with this version of the game. It shows to me that they're not willing to go the extra mile. I
agree. Yeah. You know what? Let's do our 3 words and then let's go into that right away because I don't want to forget to talk about that. Is that cool?
Of course.
Right. Do you mind if I start with mine?
Sure. I don't have any written down, so this is going to be on the spot.
Ooh, playing it by ear, I see.
Playing it by heart.
That's the way you play Mass Effect. I love it. Living your life like Shep. All right, my words, they might inspire your words, perhaps. But the first word is satisfying. There's just so many loops in this game. They're just really satisfying. And we'll go into that specifically later. I don't want to take too much time on it. But this game is satisfying in many different ways. I found it gripping. in like multiple ways, when it comes to the story, when it comes to the combat, when it comes to the personal relationships, when it comes to just this amazing world that BioWare built. It's just gripping. Yeah. And then my last word is frustrating in regards to some of the pretty bad glitches that I experienced. And I know for you with your trophy, with the platinum, which may be a glitch as well, and also just the Mako in general, which I defended for a long time, but I see now that I was incorrect. So there are just some really frustrating instances with that. But those are my 3 words. I'm sure we'll go into way more depth with all of those topics later. But in short, those are my 3.
Yeah. So my 3 is dense.
Good word.
Dated.
Yes.
And it's kind of rabbit hole.
Yeah, I feel that. Thanks for losing us 15 subscribers, Chris, with your
those were positive.
Answer. No, that was a 2-word answer, Chris. That was 4 words.
I'm sorry.
You can't have a compound word.
Hole.
Thank you. Much better.
Dense as in... I mean, I can't gush enough about the codex and the journals and just listening to everything and reading everything. It's... Maybe a better word would have been fully realized.
That's good.
The world building is so masterfully done.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, like I can't even, like, I barely know the streets of my own town, and these guys have like laid out our entire Milky Way galaxy.
Right? It's insane.
No? It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
And then dated, obviously. I mean, the game came out in 2007, right? Yeah, 2007, November 16th, 2007. So I won't go into too much detail because I'm sure we'll talk about it, and then rabbit hole, because this game just sucks you in. You just keep going deeper and deeper, and until you're done. Until 40 hours go by and you're done.
Yeah.
Or 14 or 20 hours.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because my first main playthrough was 24 hours. And then I did another one just to get some trophies. I didn't finish the playthrough, but just enough to, get everything I needed for the platinum. And I think that was another 4 hours. So probably around 30 hours spent in game.
Yeah.
And that was to do like everything. So.
Sure.
But yeah.
It's a
man,
great game.
I love your words. I think especially like the world building thing, man. Like you can tell that long before they came up with Shepard or the Normandy or the plot of the game, they came up with this world, Like they had just been sitting there talking about this world they wanted to create for days, for months before they bothered with anything regarding the actual story of the game. It's so cool. There's like so much history. It's
I agree.
Like a real world.
I'll save it for when we actually talk about it.
Nice.
But
yeah. Let's talk about this game as a port. Does that make sense?
Yes.
As like a remaster / remake.
Should we just go through negatives first?
Yes. I will allow you to bust a move and say how you feel about this.
So, regarding the port, how long did they have to make this? It doesn't feel like they tried.
I don't feel like it.
So I went back and I looked at old gameplay from the original release on the 360. And yeah, sure, the textures aren't really there. And stuff is darker and maybe more genuine to the creator's vision. Because with this remaster, they completely changed a few... It's really the lighting, I feel like. The lighting's really different.
Yeah, that and like
I
saturation.
think it looks fine though. Like people were complaining that, especially Eden Prime, didn't look the same. To my mind's eye, it looked the same
Yeah.
from memory.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that very different.
Mm-hmm.
The way people were talking about it, they were saying like the sky was blood red, which it wasn't.
I don't remember this. Yeah. I read this though. I remember reading that people were really mad about the changes in color, specifically, and lighting, like you said. But as a person who played the original Mass Effect at least twice, I didn't really notice any differences visually. You know?
Yeah.
And it might be that it's just me thinking back with like rose tinted glasses, but I don't know. I didn't think it was updated that much. Does that make sense?
No, for sure. And like the only thing that looked really good compared to the original was the textures on the characters, the armor and the guns and stuff like that. The Mako looked better, and
Yeah.
there's a few different texture changes on planets. But I was playing on Vermeer, right? The one with the lot of water and jungle and stuff. I was playing it, and Aspen was looking at it and was like, "When did this game come out?" It was like 2007. She was like, "It looks like a PS2 game." And this is me playing the Legendary Edition, and like, I was like, "It's like, you know, it's a game from back then." And then I looked down at the water, and the textures under the water, they look like a PS1 game.
Oh no.
Like, they don't have to make like the textures of the surface underwater look great, but I understood what she meant. Like, to a layman, to someone who doesn't play very many video games,
Yeah.
it doesn't look that great, especially compared to other games like it. Like, you could probably say that, I don't know, what's another open world game?
I mean, didn't Borderlands come out like a year after this? Like, granted, totally different style.
Yeah, a year or two after.
But,
yeah.
But, like, it looks better. I don't know. Mass Effect is not the best looking game. Especially, I'll talk about this later, but oh my gosh. Some of the faces of, like, the Marines are literally horrifying. Like, they haunt my nightmares.
Their eyes are going out like this.
Even, like, characters that get a lot of screen time, like Anderson, looks like a monster.
Yeah.
He looks like he looks like an alien
frog
wearing a man's skin. Like, he does not look right at all.
Yeah.
It's like,
I totally agree. It's weird. Like, I feel like the aliens look way better than the humans.
I was just about to say that. Maybe it's because we don't have reference for aliens in real life, obviously, but like, man, the aliens look superb. Like, even Liara, the Asari, she looks like real, you know? And then it looks back at like Ashley, and you're like, what? Like, what happened?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we talked about the port problem. There's an audio problem. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, like, the menus. Would it have killed them to add a dedicated map button?
Just use the touchpad.
Right? Just like a map button, and then little things like that, where they just made it a little bit easier to access the map.
Yeah, getting to the map was pretty awful.
It's just like annoying because you have to do it constantly, especially when you're on these planets with the stupid Mako, and you're like, "Where's the anomaly?" You know, I'll go to orient myself. It would have been just nice if there were some quality of life changes, and I don't think they made really any besides like the Legendary Edition leveling, which I didn't notice at all.
Yeah, it was nice with the Legendary leveling because it felt like you were progressing really fast until the very end, because you would be able to have 4 skill points with each level. It was really nice.
I don't remember how it used to work.
So it was just halved. Twice as many levels, you do 2 points.
I see. That makes sense. So Legendary Edition was just making it better, making it easier.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
But yeah.
What glitches did you run into?
0.
Dude, I had so many glitches.
Besides the game, well, not game breaking, but the trophy breaking bug of the completionist trophy.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yes, talk about that. Talk about your pain. Let it all out.
I am so fed up with this trophy. So I finished 41 assignments and all the story missions, which is about 17 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good enough for the completionist trophy. Some people, lucky people, will get this trophy by the 3rd planet. Granted, you're doing a ton of side missions on the Citadel, which I didn't do. But the numbers added up. Like, we're about the same. Or close enough.
At the end, how many missions did you complete, like, overall, including everything?
In total, it's like 50 or 59.
Yeah, you're close. I had, like, 65.
There's only 88. There's only 88 missions in the game. So
it must want you to do, like, 75% or something. And you're just really close.
It's just ridiculous. Because, like, some people get it after completing 40 in total.
Yeah.
You know, it's just random. So, I did 2 playthroughs for this game. I'm still working on the second playthrough, which is going to be my saving grace at this point because, sadly... So, what screwed me is the only good save I had left from my original playthrough was after being locked on the Citadel.
Yes.
So after that point, you can't go back to the Citadel once you leave.
Mm-hmm.
But had already left. On my Insanity playthrough, I am locked on the Citadel, but I haven't left yet. So I can still do all the side missions on the Citadel. And then I'm going to have to go and do absolutely everything besides Ilos.
Yeah. Which is not...
It's that. If that doesn't work, I'm going to have to probably just start over and do what you did and just do absolutely everything before I get to Pharaohs.
Yeah.
Which...
It's going to take 20 hours.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing in the world because this game is such a joy to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be cool to try even more choices and decisions. But yeah. Go into your glitches, man. Talk about the Mako.
Dude, it's so many. Yeah, okay, I'll tell you I'll tell you the easy ones first, the little ones. The little ones were just like people would like interact with an object and just go like like start like violently like flying through the air. And that was just funny. Usually it didn't like cause any problems. But like if you opened a door and you were too close to it, Shepard would be like not a big deal. Another one was your squad mates and enemies, if they were like thrown, they could get like caught between objects and fall into the floor. So like only their heads were visible. And so that was annoying because sometimes you couldn't find an enemy. You'd try to be killing them and they'd be underneath the floor. Or your squad mates couldn't get out. And so you'd have to redo a save. But the big one that was super annoying was that every once in a while, if I like did a certain series of button inputs when I was getting out of the Mako, I was no longer allowed to interact with anything. So like I'd get out of the Mako next to like some debris and I'd try to like decode the debris or whatever and it'd be like, you can't. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll get back in the Mako. Can't get back in the Mako. And if you can't get back in the Mako, you can't go back to the Normandy. So it's just a soft lock. Super annoying. So weird. And so if you didn't have a save, you were just screwed. So there were a bunch of times where I'd spent like an hour on the planet where I like went and did like some mission stuff, went and did 2 anomalies, then I'm at the debris after being there for an hour, and then I'd get out and it'd be like, no, hope you saved. And half the time I didn't, and I had to go back to when I first landed on the planet.
That's so weird.
I know. Bizarre. Like super weird
Never
bug.
happened to me.
It happened like 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
But I got really good at quick saving. So I would quick save constantly. But oh my god, it was annoying.
That's smart. You should play this game manually saving all the time. So that you don't get screwed like me.
Exactly. That's why I was like, oh no, Chris, you should have had some glitches. The gabagoo, then you would have done it. You wouldn't have lost all your progress.
There.
I'm so sorry. Those are the only glitches. But you said you had audio glitches?
not glitches. The audio in this game is abysmal.
Yes.
It's terrible.
It's not good.
What the heck is going on? The music is inaudible.
Did Christopher
It's the
Nolan
opposite
make
of
this
a
game?
Nolan film.
Yeah.
And then some weapons are just freakishly loud, like the pulse rifle.
Really? I didn't notice this at
So
all.
loud. And then I'll have my TV very quiet so that I could play while like people are around or something. Aspen's sleeping, and I'll travel from another system to like the Citadel,
So loud.
and it's just like, vroom! So loud.
Dude, I would play with headphones because Grace was sleeping. It's straight up like the rest of the game is at perfect volume. And then you travel systems and it's like, like your eardrums are like broken. You have to like, I always take my headphones out whenever I travel systems, then I put them back in. That's not a thing I should have to do. Like,
not
that's
good.
not normal.
I hope they fix it in 2.
Yeah, I hope so too. But I remember I read an article and I was like, that talked about that. I'm like, I'm glad it wasn't just my stupid ears, I guess. Mm-hmm. Everyone's having their their eardrums blown out by Mass Effect loading screens.
It's terrible.
Bizarre. But yeah, hilarious.
Yeah,
that can't have been in the
it.
original. That has to be a port issue, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
It was a Wild West back then. They did what they wanted.
This is true.
Kids savvy. Who knows? But I guess at this point, do you want to give a quick synopsis of the plot since you just read the entire freaking codex? And then we can go through the characters and just talk about what we liked, didn't like, and go into fast ones?
Yeah, sure. So, you want me to tell you the ending too, or just the plot?
Both. Give it to me.
Both?
Give me all.
Okay. So, we start the game off as Shepard, and we are tasked for a very important mission. And it's kind of like a test to become a Spectre, which is a kind of galactic officer or sheriff.
Yes.
So to speak, and you're tasked with going to this planet called Eden Prime, and the gist of it is there's a looming shadow of this evil alien force that is being brought up in different parts of the galaxy, and they're called the Geth. And you find out that the main Spectre for the Citadel is trying to bring back this ancient alien civilization to basically kill everyone so that the cycle can stop. The cycle of genocide can be over. So his intentions are good, and his name is Saren. But so you go from Eden Prime, and you get your crew together. You get 5 or 6 people, and you're basically just trying to stop Saren from bringing the Geth or the Protheans back, the evil civilization. But he kind of succeeds. He brings them back. And there's this big fight on the Citadel, which is the main hub of all alien races, or it's a peaceful hub. And you fight, and you kill, or Saren, at least for me, killed himself.
Yeah, same.
I think that happen no matter what.
I think if you're Paragon, it happens.
Okay. So he kills himself. And then he's brought back.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he comes back, but you save the day, you send the Protheans back. That's basically the end of it.
Yeah.
The ending of this game was a little lackluster.
It kind of just happens.
It kind of just happened, or it is really good, and then it's just over.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's got a cool build up. I love the Shepard's we gotta go outside, and then he just attaches to the side of a building and fights people going down. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That lead up's really cool, and then you fight Saren, which is a kind of a easy boss fight.
It's odd.
I don't know. The thing is, what do you do? What do you do? After all of this build up, you can't actually fight. You can't fight a Reaper. You can't fight Sovereign. you would
Yeah.
die. It's like a planet-sized ship. So like,
Oh yeah, the Reapers. The Protheans are the ones that are dead.
yes, they're a past race.
Sorry. So I just screwed that whole thing.
The Protheans are good guys.
The Protheans are good guys. The Reapers are the bad ones.
Yeah. But yeah, it's hard. Maybe you should have been able to talk Sovereign down, but I'm not sure that makes sense. And you do talk Saren down, but then he just comes back anyways because of his implants. So I think it was about as good as it could be. I can't really
for a first
think
game.
of a better ending. Yeah,
because it definitely ends with it. Like there's gonna be a sequel.
Yeah,
because the Reapers aren't gone; they're here now.
Exactly. Like they straight up say, like the threat isn't over.
And Sovereign knows who you are and stuff like that because you speak and stuff.
It's a good ending.
So
I love it.
Yeah.
No, that was a good synopsis, though.
It was very, very quick. Because everything else is up to the player's choice, really.
Exactly.
Which is the beautiful part.
Yeah, there's. I guess probably we should spend a little time on each planet, like the big ones, obviously not like the little ones, but like Vermeer, Pharaohs, I think, Noveria, and Ilos. Eden. I guess what do you have to say about Eden
Ilos?
Prime? But
yeah, and then the Tau cluster, Artemis Tau.
Yes, that's where you get Liara, right? And then what else is there?
That's about it.
Oh, okay, cool.
You just get her.
We just get Liara for our team. By the way, did you romance anybody?
Liara.
Nice.
Because she's the only choice.
Yes, pretty much. You can romance Ashley.
Who's going to do that? Who chooses Ashley?
No one. Has anyone ever chosen Ashley?
I don't think so. I'm just going to say it. She's my least favorite character in the entire game.
Dang.
Like
I didn't even talk
she
to
might
her
be
once.
She might be the villain.
She's
just a racist human.
Yes, she is. She's a spacist, perhaps.
Don't worry, I stopped her before she could do anything.
I know. You took care of her.
Yes.
She's not my favorite character. Although Caden's like also the most supreme meh character ever.
Yeah. But he's not like
actively bad.
Sure we can trust the Asarian?
I know. It's dumb. Yeah, she's not very nice. I let her die.
Yeah. Even when I tried not letting her die, she died.
Really?
So, in my first playthrough, I let her die. I was like, I'm choosing Caden no matter what.
Yeah,
You're stupid. But then
in your evil playthrough.
In my Renegade playthrough, I was like, I'll just see what happens if I save Ashley, you know? She still died.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it looks like she dies, because she's in Mass Effect 3 if you save her.
No, she got nuked.
What happened? Did Caden die too?
No, Caden's with me.
That's bizarre, dude.
I must have made a choice that
somehow saved
really
Caden
quickly
after the fact. That's bizarre. The game did not want Ashley to live. But evidently the developers didn't want Ashley to live because they made her the way she was. So yeah, she's not my favorite character.
I think you get Paragon points when you save Caden.
I think you probably
get
Paragon
Renegade when you
regardless.
save Ashley.
There's no way. That's hilarious. There's no way.
I mean, that would, unless you get Paragon points no matter what.
I think you get Paragon points no matter what.
Which is weird because it's just a choice that you have to make. It's not one that you really can like diverge from.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not saving either of you. I'm leaving.
It's also not very meaningful. I wish they'd made Ashley just less insane, you know?
And they don't have side missions. You can just talk to them until you get all their codex, right?
It's kind of lame. Yeah, they don't have side missions until Mass Effect 2.
Like, a crazy decision would have been like Wrex or Garrus.
Yeah.
Then I would have to like cry over my choice.
Yeah, because like, what do you do? Like, they're both great, you know?
Yeah.
But like Ashley and Caden, it's like you can kill both of them. Like take them
Yeah,
both.
I
I
don't
don't care. Which I feel bad. It's like whatever, but no.
Yeah.
Caden's too stiff, man. I don't like Caden.
Yeah.
He stays on the ship. He lives on the Normandy. Tell me, who is your preferred squad?
I was for the longest time I was a Liara and Tali.
Which you need for the platinum, so that makes sense.
No, so I was stupid in my first playthrough and I didn't use any of their powers. So
Oh,
I didn't get a single power
that
trophy in my first
sucks.
playthrough. But then Liara would always be there because I knew I was going to romance her. So I just wanted to keep her just for like story purposes for me,
Yeah.
because it would make sense if I'm spending all this time with her and then romance
Yeah.
her at the end. But then it went from Liara to Wrex. And I would kind of just switch that third person around every other mission or so.
But was
But
Tali
Liara
always
would-
there, or Liara was always there?
Liara was always there.
Ah, nice.
Now, I almost kind of wish you could have romanced more people because you can only choose two.
Yeah,
Or three.
In the later games you can romance more. But it also depends on your gender. Like, because some characters like, I think Caden's
Are
like not.
locked.
Yeah, like Garrus isn't gay, so he won't get with you if you're a dude. But I think Caden is bi, so Caden will get with you if you're a dude. I'm pretty sure. But I know that for male Shepard it's Ashley and Liara, and for female Shepard it's Caden and
Liara.
is it Liara as well? Because she's bi as well.
Well, because
That makes sense.
her race doesn't have genders.
Yeah, because they don't really have genders. Oh, actually they do, but the males
they're all
stay on the
female.
homeworld.
What?
Yeah.
No, Liara, not Tali.
No, the Asari, yeah. They have some
thought
weird like males are never been seen, but they are males.
Well, I could have sworn.
But the females can mate with any race. Let me look it up. I don't remember.
Huh. So, no, the Asari are always female, and they can mate with any race.
I think
But
you're
the-
probably right.
The child is always going to be an Asarian, I think.
I think so. I think you're right.
Because when you romance Liara, she explains that like I can because Shepard would be like, how does it work if I'm a human? And she would be like, well, we can mate with any race because it's more mind. It's more like
Yeah.
spiritual and stuff.
They're
So.
interesting. The Asari are interesting characters. But yeah, that's a good romance option.
It was awesome. Like it was actually probably the first romance in a video game where I was like, wow, this was really thought out. And it wasn't just like, hey, make these choices to get a sex scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt like a more meaningful romance.
That's nice.
I don't know if Ashley would have been that way. Probably not.
I don't know.
Probably would have shot her in the head.
I don't know, because I remember my first ever playthrough of Mass Effect, I romanced Ashley. And I saved Ashley and stuff. But I don't know, man. I didn't romance anyone in this game because I want to romance Tali. It's like the character I always romance in Mass Effect. But yeah. So I've never romanced Liara. I've never.
I heard
been
Tali's a
with
very
Asari.
popular option, and Tali was going to be my first option until I found that you couldn't romance her.
You can't romance her in one. So I can't get the trophy. That's okay. Yeah, I think Tali's the most popular option. Tali and Garrus. People pretty much romance Tali or they romance Garrus.
Very
One of the
interesting.
two. Which makes sense.
With Liara. I'm going to try to stick with Liara in every game.
You're going to try. I'm going to do my best. See if I don't get tempted away by Garrus. No, that's a good choice though.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot that you could romance people this playthrough though. Like beyond me
Yeah.
wanting to romance Tali, I literally didn't even think about it.
Well, seriously, you just talk to them, and it'll be a romance. Like you don't have to do any side mission or anything like that.
Yeah, you don't have to gain loyalty. You just kind of, if you talk to them enough, it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
we're going to do it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
interesting.
that's a good team composition. If I had my way, I would have only used Tali and Garrus. That would have been my team. But I like Wrex, and I had Liara on my squad for a long time because I was trying to use like all of her
Singularity
abilities.
and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But tell me about what class you chose for your Shepard.
I was really conflicted because I really wanted to kind of just choose standard Shepard. But instead I made Osmond Shepard.
Osmond. I love it.
And still kind of vanilla. I just changed his background, I think, to... I think I was a colonist.
Ooh.
And then I was still just a soldier. Just because I liked how the heavy armor looked a lot.
Oh, that's nice.
But in my second playthrough with Karen Shepard, my renegade,
Yeah.
I chose the adept one where you can use the bio and other powers.
Like shotguns. That makes sense for Karen. She would be she would be an adept. To get up in the manager's face, man.
But what about you, man?
You know, I feel like people really look down on soldier, but I played soldiers because I want to be able to use all of the abilities and I want my squad to be like efficient, you know? So I don't want to have tech abilities or biotic abilities because that's what my squad mates do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what your squad's for.
Right? So anyways, people always act like you're a loser if you don't play adept or like Vanguard.
I feel like it just makes sense for a human.
Right? Plus, he's
Like,
not a
I'm
biotic.
just a normal
you know?
guy.
He's just a dude.
It would be cool just to be like, you're just a normal guy. You're just a normal like war vet kind of.
Yeah. I agree. And I like that you can use all the weapons, you know. Like, if I want, I can use a sniper rifle here. You're just like really malleable. You can do everything.
Nothing is like the assault rifle is the only weapon you should use.
Yes.
Let's be real. Like,
although the pistols are
no
great.
other weapon is good. The pistols are great.
And once you get the
But
final
then-
sniper rifle, it's good. The one that you buy for 7 million credits or something.
Jeez. Did you ever buy anything in this game?
Not until like the end. So I didn't buy anything, and then at the very end of the game, I found the weapons like requisition officer and CSEC, and I bought the high tier weapons that were like HWM, HWSX, whatever.
Yeah.
And they all do like 400 damage a second.
Yeah, so I have not bought or sold a single thing in Mass Effect.
You don't need to.
You don't need to. It's so out of the way. I amassed like 2 million credits or something.
Yes.
And after the pulse rifle, that was the only weapon I needed.
Oh, you're a Geth pulse rifle guy?
Yeah. So,
I never used the pulse rifle. I
Really?
didn't like it. I didn't like it, Chris.
Why not?
I didn't like it.
Why not?
Because I liked the weapon mod system. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
And
I
think,
didn't.
Yeah, I was good. That was one of my fast
There's
ones.
no point.
How long did it take you to understand that the weapon mod system existed and like how to use it?
I think I was on Vermeer. It was like the second to last mission. I found out that you could like put weapon mods on stuff.
I will say that in my first 2 playthroughs of Mass Effect, I never realized that weapon mods existed until this playthrough. And it wasn't
Seriously, until I
an hour in.
accidentally hit square.
Yep, same. Because the weapon menu is bad. It's just
awful.
not. It's just like hard to read, man. Like all the menus in this game are just hard to read.
There's not even like easy symbols for be like, this is acid, this is incendiary.
Yes.
You know,
right?
like clear descriptives that are easy to read, fast to read.
Something to at least
felt
show
like-
you that you're modifying your weapon.
I looked at one of the mods and I felt like I had to read the entire codex of Mass Effect to understand what this one weapon mod does.
It's understandable.
Just give me stats.
Yes. Although I think that with mods, you can do like way more damage. Like I had like a burst rifle that did like 290 for a long time. And I had 2 mods on it that made it do 29% more damage. and then another mod that made it do like 40% more damage to synthetics. So it was doing like 600 damage at some point, you know? So it was good. I enjoyed them once I understood them, but it took me a long time to like understand what the heck was happening, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But the pulse rifle, you can't have attachments or whatever, so.
Yeah. I was fine with that.
It's the weapon I would give to my lousy squad mates who can't even use assault rifles.
Tali.
Yep. Tali, you stupid idiot. Just use your stupid pistol.
But yeah, where do you want to go from here, man?
Dude,
we can go into characters, planets.
Let's do planets / characters, right? I feel like that'll kind of boom at the same time. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, sure. Do you want to just start with the Citadel?
Yeah, let's just start with the Citadel, because that's where you meet Tali and Garrus and Wrex, and go from there. I like the Citadel. I hated it at first because it's like a real place.
It's really confusing.
Yeah, like, but it is satisfying after you get through, you know, after you've done a bunch of side missions showing you the entire place. You're like, oh, I need to go to the med bay? I'll just walk on over, you know? I know exactly where it is. So it is satisfying to like map out a place in your mind, and it really does feel like an actual place. Which I think is an accomplishment. But it's super annoying when you first get there. And it's like, go to the financial sector. And you're like
where?
What?
The most, like, I didn't have a single problem with finding things in the Citadel until I had to go back to the Normandy. Because there's no option to just go to the hangar. I'm like, where is it? And yeah, you go through CSEC, and it's the elevator in the middle of CSEC. And then from there, then you're in to the hangar area. Just a
bizarre,
lapse in judgment on their part for not putting a fast travel point right next to the Normandy,
or just straight up a button in your menu that says "Go to Normandy." You know?
Yes.
And like while you're on a planet too, I should be able to just go to the Normandy whenever I want. You know? I agree, man. It's that's like one of the relics of it just being a game from 2007. I think.
For sure, yeah, and I think. Because Dead Space came out a year later, and they had the whole thing where you can just hit the button and it will draw you a digital like arrow that leads you to your next objective. And that would have been awesome in this game.
It would have been nice, especially at least at first.
Especially in the Citadel. Like, when you're on planets, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Unless you're on Pharaohs.
Yeah.
But just using that in the Citadel, or just having more signs and arrows that'll tell you where things are.
Yeah.
Because the signs don't really do anything in the game.
No. They're just like to Presidium, but like it's like a mile in that direction, you know? It's not super accurate.
Or like when you get to an elevator, it doesn't tell you where you're going. So you have to go into your map to see like elevator to shuttle bay.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's annoying. There's just a bunch of, like I said, little quality of life things that they easily could have updated and just chose not to for no reason.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, BioWare.
Thanks. But yeah.
Darn it, we started complaining again about the Citadel. It's such a great place.
Citadel gets better over time, for sure. Especially when you get into certain areas. Like, the whole CSEC area is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool area.
But, yeah.
By the way, how do you feel about, I guess, Tali's the first companion you get, or is it Wrex? Or is it Garrus?
It's Garrus.
It depends, actually.
You bring Ashley with you from Eden Prime. Ashley and Caden. And then, because you save Ashley, which you shouldn't have done.
You should have shot
Big mistake, Shepard.
Should have helped the Geth out.
Should have helped humanity out. But yeah, you get Garrus because you see him arguing about the Spectres and stuff, and he's complaining about Saren.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, you don't like Saren? Cool, you're my friend.
I know, right? Oh, I want to play together.
So I liked, meeting Garrus was pretty cool, and then from there, you get Wrex in Korra's Den. Or like you first see him in Korra's Den. But how in depth do you want to talk about meeting these characters? Do you want talk about the characters while we're meeting them, or?
Oh, yeah. Just give me your thoughts on them. Like, what was your impression of Garrus? Did you like him? Same thing with, like, Wrex and Liara. I mean, not Liara, but Tali.
Yeah. Garrus was my first favorite character. For sure.
Garrus is awesome.
He was just, like, really cool, and, like, I would have liked him to be in my squad more. Like, if I wasn't romancing someone in this game, he would have been my number 2 all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like a cool game or thing would just be you and Garrus out in the galaxy. Like,
right.
If Garrus, like, if I had to choose between any of the companions to be with alone, it'd be Garrus. And it would have been, like, a cool game to just have, like, you have this friend, guy. He's a Turian, right?
Best friend. Yeah, he's a Turian.
It would have been like a buddy cop thing. It would have been really cool.
It totally is like a buddy cop movie when you're with him. Just ride or die with Garrus.
Yeah.
It's the best.
He's really good. And Wrex is I love Wrex. I don't know how you feel about him. He's Wrex. Kind of like the comedic relief in the game. Yeah. For me. And he's really funny, and he just wants to beat things up and destroy things.
He's supposed to kill everybody.
Yes. And he later has like one of the coolest little side notes in the story. Yeah. That most of the characters don't get. Which is really sad. Like, I don't think Garrus gets a good enough. Like, you have his character mission. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't really get like a cool character moment, I'd say.
Yeah, like,
at least not as good as Wrex.
Because Wrex like gets his own big thing. He has his own freaking achievement, Whereas pretty much no one else. I mean, Tali kind of has her thing where you get to choose whether you give her the information about the Geth. But not really anything. It's kind of sad. Mm-hmm. That comes into its own in Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
You get a lot more of that.
That's good, because with Garrus, you get that side mission where you hunt down the evil doctor who is like cloning people's testicles inside themselves to kill them.
That's not good.
It's not good.
I also do not remember that. I must not have done it.
I don't think you did any of the character missions in this game.
I didn't think there were.
I was talking to you about the Wrex armor mission, and you didn't do that one. And I did it, and I didn't get the trophy.
So how did you activate them? Come on.
So you just, after every mission after every main planet, talk to them and just ask them about anything.
So this is the thing. I think after I got everybody, the first thing I did was I went through all of their conversation options. And then after the next big mission, I did the same thing, but they just looked like they were the same. So I was like, oh, I guess there aren't any like companion missions in this. So I just never did it.
No, yeah, if you just keep talking to them, it's just like romancing.
That breaks my heart.
Keep talking to them. And yeah, man, like those are really good side missions because...
Oh, that sucks.
Garrus, you talk to him to the point where he's like, man, I hate CSEC and the Citadel and the Council because they wouldn't let me hunt down this maniac who was cloning people and doing these awful experiments on them. And so you get the option. It's like, you just give me the coordinates and I'll hunt him down. And you bring him with you and then you kill him. And oh my gosh, jeez, Louise.
Calm down, chair.
Whoa.
Whoa,
and then with Garrus, or not Garrus, with Wrex, you talk to him, and it's really hard talking to Wrex because you don't know which choice to make when you're speaking to him because he's negative to all of them. Mm-hmm. But you get to the point where you talk to him about his father and whatnot, and he says that like how his father betrayed him and basically exiled him from his family. And something happened where I think he sold the family armor of Wrex, like Rex's family armor, to some other alien. So you hunt that alien down and you get the armor for him. Nice. And it's just a really cool thing. And then Wrex says that he's starting to like you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does that change your conversation options on Vermeer when you confront him?
I don't know because I did both. Or no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No, that's lame.
Because in my first playthrough, I did all the side character missions after being locked out of the Citadel. Oh. And then, because you can just go to a planet or a system and then just go back to the ship and talk to them.
Yeah.
Until they give you the side mission. Which is really nice because I thought I was locked out of that when I was trying to hunt down all the assignments for the trophy.
Didn't work.
But yeah.
That's lame, dude. I'm bummed.
Yeah.
I would have definitely done those. I had no idea. I tried to talk to them and they didn't update.
But you'd said you did the one for Tali. Gave her.
I don't think so. That was just the end of the mission.
I still haven't done that.
Oh, really?
I never did Tali's.
I don't think I did it. I think it was just. I'm trying to remember where you get the information. Like at some point, you download information from like a Prothean beacon or something, and you get information on how the Geth work or something like that.
Yes.
And Tali's like, I could use that as my pilgrimage, and you're like, okay, and you just give it to her. Like it's not a mission.
That would be her side mission.
That was literally nothing. That's so lame.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in my second playthrough that I'm doing on casual, I will do that. So
good job.
Just sad because then I'll be like Renegade. It's like I don't even want it. I'm just playing Grace if she's evil. Evil Grace.
Yes.
It's real Grace. But yeah. So I guess I'll do that. I guess I'll do all the side missions then.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, there's only 2 of them.
Is there not one for Liara, Ashley, or Caden? They just didn't finish this game.
I think because those are the 3 romances, so that counts as their side mission.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. I want to romance Wrex next time, I guess. But yeah.
But yeah, and then Liara's, obviously I romanced her. I thought she was the most interesting species-wise.
Yeah.
Just because of how they communicate with each other and how they are in this eternal search for more information. So they'll mate with different species to get like their memories or whatever and to see in their minds.
Yeah, it's wild.
Pretty crazy.
It's a cool idea for like a species as well. Mm-hmm. They did a great job.
I don't know why I skipped over Tali.
You know, Tali doesn't have a huge role in this game.
She doesn't.
She's just kind of
also there. She's the hardest to find in the Normandy.
Yes, she's just like out by the reactor. She's really cool. She's interesting. I think her species is like super cool. They have a really interesting story. Yeah,
because they created the Geth.
Yeah,
and then they tried killing them. They couldn't for some reason.
They created them as a slave workforce.
Yeah,
and then the Geth gained sentience through like a neural network they created between themselves. And
it's very cool.
Yeah, just like really wild.
That's such a wild thing because that's like one of the fears for us is making AI that will turn on us.
Exactly.
And that's just what happens to the Quarians. It's very cool.
I do think it's interesting that like as Shepard, I want to be like, Tali, like you created this race. You can't just like commit genocide now. You know, like they gain sentience. But every time you try to say that to Tali, she's like, the Geth are bad. You're just like, but they're like an entire species you made.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Krogan. Like I wanted to like get the cure for the genophage, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's not right to destroy an entire species, you know? Granted, I get that like that's the point of the game, like that's why they have these great moral conflicts where you have to really think about things. But I don't know. I don't know if utilitarianism like cuts it when it involves destroying an entire race of billions of sentient creatures. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
but who knows?
Well, with the Krogan thing, it's interesting because at least when you fight against it, Shepard says that like if we do get it, they're just going to be slaves to Saren.
Indoctrinated. Yeah.
Yeah. they're not gonna be like you. They're not gonna be free. So it's not what you really want. Which I thought was... It makes some good points in this game. Shepard's a pretty smart guy.
Good job, me. Good job, Shepard.
Good job, Osmond.
No, Shepard's
Did you
cool,
name
man.
your Shepard?
I named him Josh just because I knew it was just the save file name, essentially. Because no matter what you name yourself, they just call you Shepard.
It's Shepard. Which is brilliant, honestly.
I think so, because it's not... This isn't
The
like...
protagonist.
Yeah, it's not Skyrim. This is about Shepard, you know? It's not about you. And I love that Shepard retains his personality regardless of what you do. Like, I think Renegade Shepard and Paragon Shepard are like the same person, you know? Just
Pretty much.
at different levels of anger, I suppose.
Being a renegade is pretty hard.
You have to be horrible. Like,
You have to be the worst living creature in the universe.
yeah, like, I don't think I ever purposefully did anything renegade, just because, like, I'm not a huge jerk. Like,
It's like... The renegade options is like... Save these people on a railroad, or save, like, the 5 people on the railroad track, or the 1, you know?
yeah.
Renegade Shepard would just find someone else and kill him.
I know.
It's like, give this kid candy or shoot him in the face.
For real. It's like you just saved someone from like an attack, and it's like Paragon Shepard helps them up. Renegade Shepard spits on them. Like, you know.
My renegade Shepard, when Caden died, was like, fight hard, die proud. It's like, what?
Fight hard.
It's like, you
die
can go
proud.
save him, you know?
You could do something about this, Renegade Shepard. Oh, I love it. Did you have a preference for the female or the male Shepard? Because I like them both. I think
I
they're
like them
both
both
really
a
good.
lot. The female Shepard definitely looks better.
Yeah. Commander Shepard looks freaking weird if he's a dude. Like, I'm okay
Yeah,
with
and,
it
like-
because he's my Shepard at this point, but female Shepard, I feel like they put more work into. She looks more normal.
Or just like the presets for when like you're changing, because I changed the face for both of them
Yeah.
and just made characters, and they might be in the thumbnail of this
They will be.
episode. I'm not sure.
They'll be there. I'll have it lined with all the faces of our various Shepards.
And I just feel like my female Shepard, which I didn't spend any time on because it was just like a throwaway character I'm just using for insanity, and just to see what Renegade is like. She looks way better than my male Shepard, who I spent a ton of time on.
Same.
And like, they have no hair basically for Shepards.
No.
And
why?
The facial hair isn't there. Like, if you want a mustache or a beard, it's little stubble from when you're like 16.
Yes.
It's terrible.
I had my like little French mustache.
Oh my God.
Dude, he pulls it off though. My Shepard's freaking dope. He looks
I've
like
seen some male Shepards look pretty good.
I gotta find my phone. I gotta show you my Shepard really quick.
I can't even see you right now, so don't worry about it.
Cries. Never mind then. But you guys will see them. They'll have been on the thumbnail forever, so
Yeah.
they're awesome though. Mine looks like a Hispanic, like Jonah Jameson.
Hey.
Hey, it's awesome.
Good.
Well, that's what I do. That's what I do, Chris.
Yeah.
But
I think that's all the characters, right?
yeah, pretty much. That's all the
Anything
characters.
you want to say? Because I was talking a lot about them.
No, not really. I love them all. You're the one who actually did the side quests, so mostly just I don't know. We can quickly go over the plans. We already talked about Vermeer.
Yeah.
Ilos is fine. That's did I ever? I think I've told you the story before on the podcast. But when I first played this game, you know how in Ilos there's that really really long section where
Yes.
you just drive.
Mm-hmm.
And like you get stopped at the barrier and you have to talk to the eye and then you drive again. Eventually at some point there's a gap that you need to cross. And when I first played this on PC, or there's something that you can't get across if you don't have the Mako. But when I first played this on PC, I didn't know, like I forgot to bring the Mako through the door that you open at the beginning of the level.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
Walked for 30 minutes. Got to the edge and I was like, oh my gosh, I need the Mako. And then I turned back around and walked all the way home. And I literally weighted down a ruler and taped the ruler to the walk button and just left for 30 minutes until Shepard made it all the way back to the Mako.
That's awful.
Yes.
That's terrible.
What a time to be alive. But it was hilarious. So ILS is okay. I like talking to the VI. Interesting to learn about the Protheans and have Garrus hate them. As always. Garrus is actually a little bit too much for me sometimes. Where
he can be, for sure.
You'll be like, let's do the right thing. And Garrus is like, are there any laws we can break along the way? He's just
he really likes breaking laws.
He hates the government. He hates law and order. For someone who is a cop, he hates laws. He wants to break all of them. It's like, calm down, Garrus. But if you try to tell him to calm down, Shepard's like, Garrus, you're retarded, and you should kill yourself. And then Garrus is like a dog that was kicked or something. And you're like, I'm sorry, Garrus. That's actually another thing we should talk about is the conversation options never meaning what you think they're gonna mean.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'll be like, it'll say, yes, I'm fine with that. And Shepard will be like, in some realm that may be a possibility for me to agree with. It's just what? That's not what it said at all. Just say what I said. I hate that trend.
Yes.
Just have 5 lines and have all the lines that I will actually say. What is so hard about that? I don't understand, man. Fallout 4 did this to us, even though it came out 6 years after this.
Fallout 4. Jeez.
I won't blame this. This game's too good.
Yes.
But, I don't have anything to say about Ilos or Vermi or... let's talk about Noveria with the Rachni.
Okay. Where you meet, or when you, where you fight Matriarch Benezia.
Yeah, and even, the section before that, when you're dealing with all, the bureaucracy and, the really douchey person that's there when you get off the ship and you kill her. And I just think that whole section is really cool. I love that section.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think it's my favorite side mission.
It's interesting because it's a privatized planet. Mm-hmm. The whole planet is some political business, whatever,
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
It's just one of those really cool sci-fi ideas, what happens when a company can literally buy a planet and do whatever they want, And this is where all the companies go to perform their inhumane experiments, and it's just it's something that can only happen in sci-fi. And what a cool way they did it too. Where you're you're spying around, you're stealing information, you're going to the club, you're it's just really cool. There's so much stuff. There's 6 side missions there, and the Rachni are a pretty cool mission, even though I don't love the Rachni personally.
Did you save the Rachni queen?
I did save the Rachni queen. It
Good
seemed
job.
like the right thing to do. Although sometimes this game feels like it's just being too happy-go-lucky, we probably just doomed the world.
Yeah.
The Rachni, they literally almost destroyed all of humanity. I get that they were, something was wrong with them or whatever.
And it's weird when you get points, Paragon points or Renegade points for choices that you make. Because sometimes it's this was a nice thing to do for the Rachni, but what if in Mass Effect 3, the Rachni comes back and kills everyone?
Exactly. Or I think I got Paragon points for giving, for example, I think I got good points for giving Tali the information about the Geth. But I just condemned an entire race to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if the Geth are the bad guys, they're still a sentient race, right? So it's I'm not sure that's just the straight up right thing to do, And same thing with the Rachni. I did it because I thought it was the right thing, but that doesn't mean it's 100% the right thing.
Yeah.
I agree. Mass Effect.
It's just sometimes I feel don't give me these points. Let it be ambiguous, Let it be up to me to feel good or bad about it.
Yeah, I don't think I really need a system of points to tell me that I'm doing the right thing, And I'd rather the game not comment on what's right and wrong and just let me do what I think is right and wrong and have the consequences follow. Because a right action can have horrible consequences, just like a wrong action can have great consequences, right?
I think that's why they called it Paragon and Renegade. It's more your intentions are good or bad, whether or not the choices you make are good or bad.
Yeah. Because, like,
So
when
it's kind of nice in that way. But it does get to the problem where it's like you get the dialogue bubbles that are blue or red.
Yeah.
It's like, well, obviously the blue one's good.
Yeah, and here it comes back again, where I wish it just said everything I'd say so that it was like I could really think about what I'm trying to do,
Yeah.
Because, like, I just wouldn't have said anything I said to Wrex during our, like, confrontation, It's just not what I would have said, And it's really hard to tell what Shepard's going to say from, like, even the blue options. Anyways, I wish I'd recorded some of them just so I could, like, make my point, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
But
if you're listening to this, you probably have played this game already, so you know what we're talking about.
Yes, honestly. And if you haven't played it, get out and go play it. It's great.
What are you doing? Stop listening to us. Don't. Keep us playing.
Yeah, put it in the background, perhaps. You know what you could do? You could put us on double speed. You can consume Futon talks twice as fast. You lucky dogs. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really anything else to say. Maybe we can talk about Udina versus Anderson and the Council really quick. Are you insane? And did you choose Udina to head the Council?
No, Udina.
He's such a jerk.
Is the second worst character next to Ashley.
Yeah,
like I feel like
worst.
Honestly, Saren is a better person or character than Udina and Ashley.
And that's what like the big choice in this game are meaningless, right? Like the choice between Ashley and Caden, no one cares. The choice between Udina and Anderson, no one cares. I agree. Oh, and another big choice. Did you save the council or did you not?
I did save the council.
That's nice of you.
Did you
I did not.
Really? Interesting.
Well, this is the thing. I was trying to put my mind in the space where it's like, I don't know what's going to happen, because of course I know what happens in the next game. I think you defeat Sovereign no matter what, right? As long as you beat Saren, I think that Sovereign dies, the Reaper.
Okay.
But, like, I was trying to put myself in Commander Shepard's shoes, and, like, the smart thing to do is definitely, like, to focus on killing Sovereign. Because if Sovereign opens the portal and all the Reapers come through, that's the end of life as we know it, And, like, the Council, they're no more important than the hundreds and thousands of other people that are dying as we speak, Like, at this point, we need to get rid of this threat. And so that was my thought process, was I just wanted to make sure Sovereign died.
Interesting.
I think that's what I would do in real life, which sounds bad, but it's like, what if you choose the Council and then Sovereign opens the portal and then everyone dies? You know what I mean?
Well, I chose the Council to save the Council because I knew I could deal with Saren and Sovereign. Because the only way that the portal can be opened up is through Saren. It's not through Sovereign. Like, he has to do it. So it was just a race basically against time to get to Saren, which you do. And I knew I was going to be able to do that in the game. So I had Joker, who's like your pilot, who's also Seth Green.
Yeah, I like Joker. Joker's cool.
Yeah, Joker's awesome. I had him save the Council because I felt like there had to be some sort of galactic order. And if the Council was lost, there could be just total chaos and anarchy and just an overthrow of power from a really strong race or something.
Like the humans.
Like the humans.
I am the Senate, Chris.
So that was my thought process. And I kind of made the decision really quickly. For me, it was an easy choice.
I understand. I sat there and I thought about it for a long time.
I wonder if I had thought about it more if I would have saved or not saved the Council.
I think they're both good choices. That's the thing. Like, I don't think it's another one of those instances where I don't think like either's the wrong choice. I think they're just different ways to approach the problem, right? I don't think it gives you Paragon or Renegade for that decision.
I think it gave me Paragon.
I feel like it gave.
For
I don't feel like I ever got Renegade. So I think
No,
I got
I
Renegade
never
option
got
like
Renegade
one
points.
time. So and it was like for punching a guy in the face.
I actually remember I did get Renegade points one time. Once I accepted a side mission. Like, I just accepted the side mission, and I got Renegade points for it. I was
Yeah.
like, screw this. And I just, like, loaded my save. Because I wasn't going to have that. Because I was just like, that's such a cheap thing. I didn't do anything.
It sullied your record. Was it the Hanar allowing it to like give you a package?
No, it was accepting a mission to do, I mean, it sounds bad, like, do bounty hunting, but it was for, like, evil people, like, hunting down evil people. So I thought I was just doing Spectre work, you know?
I did that one. That was a fun mission.
Yeah.
And then but then I got her to turn herself in at the end.
Oh, okay.
And her entire criminal organization. So it turned out it gave me like more Paragon at the end.
Okay.
If
I
only
didn't do
you
that mission. I just
persevered.
accepted the mission.
I just said I'd kill them and then never did.
Yep.
He would never wear a finisher. Just kidding. I guess side missions, that's a good thing to talk about. Super fast.
Yeah.
And then we should probably just move into fast ones. Just like, what else is... do you have anything you'd like to say about the story, or...
No. Not really. I love this game.
Me too.
And I love the characters and the world building and the codex.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically all I really have to say. It's just sad that they didn't spend more time to fully remake this game. Like, I would have been fine if they did a complete overhaul, like remake.
Me too.
Like a Demon Souls type of remake. And if they just put one game out at a time, I would have been totally fine with that.
Yeah, I would have paid full price for that again. I really agree. I really wish that they'd given it that treatment.
It's just sad because you know they're never going to do it ever again.
No, this is the last time this game gets re-released. Unless Legendary Edition gets ported, right? I mean, this is it. This technically isn't even for PS5. This is a PS4 game. So, I'm with you. I'm very sad about that. My heart is broken.
Yes. But let's move on to the side missions.
Just think they're great, you know? I was really impressed with a lot of them. Just feeling really engaging. Like, the plots of some of these side missions are straight up as good as the plots of other games. I just think they do such a good job with dialogue and like assignments, like what you're supposed to be doing, that you don't even like, you forget you're playing a game, which is the perfect feeling, right? You just are engrossed in the story, and I found that really impressive. But I don't know, what did you think about it? I loved them. No,
they're awesome, and if I like, honestly, they make up most of the game for me.
Yeah.
Because the main story is fine. It's a little, not generic, but it's just a little vanilla.
Yeah.
You know? It's very simple. It's like A New Hope.
Yeah.
You know? But like, the one side mission, which I thought was insane, which apparently is a DLC mission, is the one on the asteroid.
It's a great one.
It was brilliant. I was like, when I got done playing that side mission, I was like, the possibilities of this game are endless.
Right?
Like, this was such a cool thing. So what you do is you get a distress call on this asteroid that's like, it's going to collide with this planet called Terra Nova, which is basically just another Earth. So you get on the asteroid and you find out that it's being like propelled from these rockets, and you have to like turn them all off. And it's this these renegade Botarians, I think is what they're called.
Yeah.
Are just trying to get back for not being like a part of the council.
I was pissed. They're not in the club.
And yeah, man, it was just an awesome side mission with really good, really hard choices. Because I'd let him go, the main guy.
Me too.
So that I could save the civilians or the scientists.
What a good choice to make you do that. And like, especially because that's what would happen in real life, right?
Yeah.
I know, because I've been on an asteroid being propelled towards the Earth. but no, I agree, dude.
It's so good.
I think that my favorite it's not a side mission, it's a main mission technically. But the story of Pharaohs is so cool, you know? Where you go to the Exogeny headquarters, and the people acted weird. Like, they did a really good job of making the people just seem weird. They're like, oh, just talk to Fidan. Like, oh, everybody just wants you to talk to Fidan. I just thought it was bad writing. But then Shepard's like, why is everyone acting so weird? And, like, you and your squad talk about it, and then you go, and it was such a twist. I didn't see it coming at all. That there's just some, like, freaking thing growing in the ground that's making everybody thralls and, like, taking over. Like, how cool is that?
It was very
my
cool.
Mind.
Honestly, I thought that Asarian that you meet, I thought she was going to be the companion.
I know, me too. I thought that would be Liara. And I've played this game, and I'm stupid, but yeah, I thought the same thing.
But no, it was awesome. It was the missions on that planet are so good. It just sucks that the planet sucks.
It's not fun to be there.
It's a terrible planet. It's a terrible planet to maneuver around, and like,
it's ugly.
It does not match up with the picture.
No, it does not. It's a beautiful picture. Hideous place.
Yeah, the picture's like a beautiful city in the clouds, and it's blue and white and clean, and this is just like brown
everywhere, and
you can't see where you're supposed to go because it's so dark inside.
Yeah. Also, like, all the side quests are down in the sewers, which is fine. I don't mind them, and I actually liked most of the side quests.
The side quests are fine, but
they weren't anything special. But the thing that really bothered me was that it takes forever to get to the sewers.
And like a maze down there.
I know, and I was dumb that I didn't, like, get all the side quests first, so I got one side quest, went down and did it, and then I, like, went back and forth when I should have just done them all at once. But anyways, but Pharaohs is still cool, and it was really cool. Fighting what was it called? The plant thing?
I forgot what it was called.
We're bad at games.
But it was cloning Asarians, right? It was.
Yeah, it cloned one Asari, and it was using it as like a mouthpiece, and it was also turning people into husks.
Yes.
So, really cool. And that's why Saren wanted to be there, because he wanted to learn how to do the mind control and how to indoctrinate people.
That's right. He was speaking to it.
Yeah, he learned about it and tried to learn about the Protheans too, because that thing was like 50,000 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wonder why the Reapers didn't destroy it. Maybe it just hid underground.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Because it's organic life.
Yeah. It's very odd.
Come on, BioWare. You suck at this.
Come on.
There's probably a good reason. But awesome mission. That's probably my favorite one. Which is funny, because it's one of my least favorite areas. But I just thought the story was really cool. I liked it. And learning about exogeny, and I love, like, cyberpunkish futures where, like, corporations are just straight up evil, you know, and, like, conducting experiments on people, and the guy's like, I just need to hit my bottom end, you know, or whatever the word is. Like, all he cares about is, like, not going bankrupt and, like, having exogeny think he's a good employee, you know.
Yeah,
it's just great. I love that stuff. So I thought it was a great level.
It was very good.
But I guess it's time for fast ones, unless you got some other stuff you'd like to tell me.
I just have to say thank you to you for making me play this game.
It's so good.
Such a good game.
And it possibly only gets better from here.
Possibly. We'll see.
Can I give you a quick... It's not a real spoiler at all, but a quick experience spoiler? Because I have a confession to make to you.
Oh, yeah?
I started playing Mass Effect 2 even though I wasn't supposed to. I couldn't help it. And there are immediately going to be some things I think you'll be sad about. Just changes that make it much less of an RPG. But I'll say this. I had the exact same feelings when I played Mass Effect 2 the first time, and Mass Effect 2 ended up being my favorite game. So, persevere. Persevere through the pain of loss, which will occur.
So, I will say something about the gameplay. I love turning off the NPCs from using powers.
Me too.
And I love using their powers for them because it almost makes it a turn-based game.
Oh, it's awesome. It's like Final Fantasy VII.
It's so good. It will be missed, but I think I can move on pretty fast.
Like, you can do some things. I'll just say okay. Now it's mostly the loot game. There's not different weapons really, and there's not different armor.
Okay.
Which I don't know. I didn't like that personally because I loved getting new armor and I loved getting new weapons, and I like that progression.
You know what? I like that there's not very much loot in this game. Mm-hmm. It's very much you probably find 5 pieces of armor that work for you, and you probably find like 5 for each character. And yeah, I thought it was simple. It didn't have to go into the whole cosmetic thing where you're getting 1,000 pieces of armor that all look the same but are just different colors, you know?
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't like that, because it would have made me dislike the game.
No, I agree.
In that sense.
I think that, for me personally, Mass Effect 1 did it perfectly. But Mass Effect 2 does not have that at all. Mm-hmm. Still a great game. And it turned out being my favorite. But I had
But you haven't played 3 yet.
I haven't, but no one likes 3, so... But I know people like 3. I'm excited to see if I like 1 more. We shall see.
Mm-hmm. We shall see.
Let's get to some fast ones, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Some of these you've answered a million times over, but be quick, boys. Are you ready, Chris? I'm going to throw them fast.
Yes.
Lightning quick, here they come. Ashley or Caden?
Kill Ashley or Caden?
Ashley or Caden. That's all you get to know.
Oh, kill Ashley.
All right. That makes total sense.
An Amazon delivery man just walked past my window.
Oh, I see. They're so excited.
The third person to see Futon Talks in action.
Oh, man. What a lucky boy. Tell me, Chris. Drive the Mako up a sheer cliff or become indoctrinated?
Become indoctrinated.
Uh-huh.
The Mako is like Far Cry 3's driving on acid.
Dude, it's so bad.
It's terrible. First of all, why do you need a hover button?
It has never been useful once.
It ruins everything.
If you try to touch that button, you're dead. Like, you are rolling across, like, the landscape. You are done.
It's like, the driving on some of these planets is like, it's like, you gotta get to this anomaly, but in order to do so, you gotta Skyrim up this mountain.
I know.
And just hope that your Mako can just make it to the very tip where, like, the texture changes and then it fixes itself.
Yes. It's so painful.
It's awful. It's painful. You do backflips and just start spinning in the air, and
I love it. It's
bad. No good. It's awful. The Mako can go kill itself.
You know what the worst thing ever is when you're almost at the top, right? You've been
and you start sliding backwards.
That you're sliding backwards. You've been like slaloming. You know, you're like barely there. You have just enough rocket, and then out of stress, you accidentally tap the hover button, and you just go.
Oh no!
You just like fall like 1,000 feet down the mountain.
Yeah.
You start rolling like. Oh, it's so bad. But it's a good time.
Yeah.
I also love that the turret has 0 recoil. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The Mako combat is not good. I'm pretty sure it's gone from every other game. I don't think the Mako makes a reappearance.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it was not good. Fighting Thresher Moss sucks too. It can straight up almost one-shot you.
Yes.
Not a good time. But yeah, I'm glad you felt the same way. Tell me, Chris. Paragon...
Who likes the Mako?
Oh, no one. I don't think the people who made the Mako like it. They should go make a new game. You're welcome. Paragon or Renegade?
Paragon, of course.
Because you're not horrible.
I couldn't be a terrible person like that. I couldn't be the scourge of society.
In video games, I just don't want to be mean. Like, I feel like it's really hard to be a bad person consciously.
It really is. Sense. It really is.
Maybe that's a good
Especially when the choices that you make have, like, story relevance and whatnot. Because it's easy to be a bad person in like Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
you know, because there's no consequences. That's kind of like the whole point of the game.
Yeah, exactly. In this game, it's just like, are you gonna like be a real, actual jerk, or are you gonna be a normal human being?
Mm-hmm.
Big choice.
Yeah.
Wrex or Garrus? Who do you let die?
Garrus.
You monster.
He
Wrex
doesn't even
would-
want to like. He doesn't even want to follow the laws. He's not even like true to himself. At least Wrex is like, I can always predict what he's gonna do.
I like
what
that.
he's gonna
That's
say.
that's your criteria for who you should keep alive. The people that you can control and
Plus,
predict.
Wrex is one of the last Krogans, you know? Should he just be another one on the list? Another dead Krogan?
Another dead Krogan.
There's so many Turians.
At the end of the day, he's just another dead rat behind a Chinese restaurant.
That's right.
I think Wrex would welcome his death with open arms. I don't think he wants to be alive. He wants to
This
die
is
in a
another
fight.
good point. Maybe just kill both of them.
That's the way to do it. Have them fight each other to the death.
Oh, who would win in a fight? Wrex for sure, right?
Wrex. The thing is, Wrex can literally have his head shut off, and he'll just come back to life with like regenerating health. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Wrex will just do his charge attack.
Yeah.
Sprint and just make Garrus explode on impact.
oh, poor Garrus. He'd get like one shot off and take a quarter of his health away.
Yes.
Sorry, Garrus. You definitely wouldn't win though.
But Garrus would probably have like the disease. Just shoot him with like a bullet.
With like the genophage on it.
Yeah, the genophage on it.
Sucks to suck, loser. Now you can't even have children. That's right, Garrus. That was a very good, a very thoughtful answer. I love that. What about Tali or anyone else?
Killing them?
Yeah. Who would you choose? I would probably keep Tali alive at all costs. But that's because I like Tali. Actually, I don't even really like Tali in this game. I like her in later games, but
I mean, I would kill anyone else. Like anyone else at all, or just in the group of people?
in the group.
Kill anybody else.
I'd
'Cause
kill
I'll just
Sovereign.
Choose Caden or Ashley.
Yeah, probably Caden or Ashley. They're the
Yeah.
worst.
They're dead.
Which one of the members is the one you would save despite whatever condition?
What do you mean?
Like, if you could only save one crew member, who would it be?
Oh.
Oh.
It's kind of weird. It kind of contradicts myself, but probably Garrus.
Yeah, he's my bro. You know?
It's just like universally the best one.
I think so. I think just compared to everybody, Garrus is just cool. He's just like nice to have around.
Yeah.
And I get rid of anybody in my life that isn't nice to have around.
Yes.
You remember that, Chris. All right. What was your favorite weapon? Do you know the name of the... Oh, yeah, your Geth rifle, right?
Yeah, my pulse rifle.
You, betrayer. That's great to hear. What was your favorite biotic power?
Singularity.
Ooh, interesting. Why was that? Just because it was
It was
cool?
just awesome because it just pull everyone together, and it was definitely the most useful because like I could point it at a wall and it would throw them at the wall.
Yeah, it like gets people out of cover and stuff.
But like the best thing was like using lift and then singularity and then like throw.
I love throw.
It's so good. Is throw your favorite?
Yeah, throw is hilarious. Especially when you get it strong.
Yes. The best thing is like, oh sorry.
No, you go.
No, the best thing is because your characters will start using throw and stuff, and you'll just be fighting, and then you'll just see a guy just fly into the universe, like into space.
It's the best.
It's like their throws were so overpowered. Like mine would barely stop someone. You know, it would like just make them fall on the ground, but theirs would just launch them into deep space.
Liara would throw someone and they'd go through the wall. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved lifting them and then throwing them. It was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you liked lift. Lift is dope. And throw and singularity. What about tech power? What's your favorite tech power? They're not as cool.
Cares? Is neural shock a tech power?
Maybe. I feel like it should be. I
Sound-
feel like it should definitely be a biotic thing, but
those powers don't really matter to me. I guess the best one would be hacking.
mm-hmm.
But you don't ever get to use it. Only Tali does, or Liara.
Yeah. It's
They
kind of
have the best powers.
Yeah, those two have by far the best
That's
powers.
why I kept them around the most.
Same. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and I hated stasis. Like, stasis was clutch sometimes because it saved me from lots of Krogans who were rushing me.
You can't damage them while they're in stasis.
But that's the problem. I think it's mostly to
can't
give
throw
yourself a
them.
second to run away and to, like, heal.
I guess.
But it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of just like lift, but worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess my favorite tech power would probably be overload or whatever. It, like, stuns tech or synthetic enemies and, like...
Mm-hmm.
Although, you know what I really liked was sabotage? But mostly when it was used against me. Because it was interesting. Because sabotage hurts you, but it also makes it so you can't use the weapon you're using for, like, 10 seconds.
Yes.
So I think that's a really cool power to force your opponent to switch guns, like maybe to a gun they're not as good with. I think it's an interesting power.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was
Totally
my favorite
agree.
tech one.
I like it.
But tell me, Chris, what power would you like to see that wasn't here? Like, what pseudo force power or pseudo tech power do you think would be a cool addition to the roster of abilities?
Pull.
Hole.
Pull
Like when-
enemies closer.
Oh, pole.
Pull.
I thought you said hole.
Pull.
I was like
No,
the ones bullets
pull.
make?
No, pull. I think it would be awesome if you could pull enemies closer to you.
Man, you're gonna love the second game. I'm very happy for
Perfect.
you. It's the first power that someone has, so that is a good power. I like that. Man, what would
I
I?
basically work at BioWare already.
Yeah, pretty much, brother.
You know, they come to me for the ideas.
This is the truth. It might be cool to have like a power that overloads the person's gun and like explodes their gun. You know, and they can use it as a grenade they're holding. Like you destroy their gun and it blows up, and depending on like the gun they're using, it does more or less damage. I think that might be interesting.
I like that. Or like you could hack into like their grenades or something and make them blow up.
Yeah, just something that makes you actually think about what you're doing. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. And then we already talked about that. Oh yeah, keep your eardrums or listen to the Mass Effect relay yeet you during loading.
Keep your eardrums.
That is wise, my friend. That is wise. Udina or Anderson? I think we just talked about this.
Anderson, of course.
Exactly. Choose the frogman.
Even though like I don't really like Anderson, I just hate Udina.
I know. It's like I even tried to like Udina. He's just a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
I made Anderson punch Udina in the face.
Of course.
It was awesome. Udina's the freaking worst. How about this? Save the council or let the pigs burn.
Save the council.
Gotta let those pigs burn.
That was mean.
The council sucks, dude. Like,
No.
I would have saved them if I could. You know? Like, if in my mind it was, like, a justified thing. But they just refuse to... Like, I get why they refuse to listen, though. Because, like, why would they believe your freaking weird dream stories about their favorite Spectre, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But they do suck. Especially the Turian. He can suck on an egg and die. The Asari's pretty nice, though.
Turian.
Yes. Here we go. Here we go. What do you want to see from a sequel? We're lucky there already are 2 of them. Technically 3, but we don't talk about that. But
Just more.
just more.
Just more.
Oh,
Nothing in particular. Just want more Mass Effect.
that's when you know a game did a good job. Good job,
Mhm.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
What was your favorite aspect of the game? Like, was there something you really enjoyed about it in particular, or was it
codex.
just the cohesion?
The Codex. I loved how much work they put into all of the lore.
Perfect answer. I love it. The world of Mass Effect is brimming, and it is wonderful.
Yes.
We talked about your romance. What trophy was the worst trophy? What trophy was the best? And what would the perfect trophy list be?
So I think the trophy list is actually really good in this game. Besides it being bugged, it's a really good, simple trophy list. The best trophy. I don't think there was a best trophy because they're all pretty standard.
Yeah,
The worst trophy is probably getting the Singularity one.
Really?
Just because it's like the last thing that you get. So
Like
it just
the last
takes the
ability.
longest to try to get. But completionist is the worst. It shouldn't be the way it is, and it shouldn't be bugged. So that would be my answer.
I just hate it when they don't tell you what you're doing. Like, I want it to say complete 60 missions.
Exactly. Give me a defined answer.
Exactly.
Not complete the majority of the game.
Like, what that could mean anywhere between 51% and like 100, you know?
Exactly.
I'm with you. And I really wish there were trackers, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I really wish I could see how many overloads I've done. Like, when I'm trying to do the neural shock, it's like, I want to know if I've done 10 or if I've done 23, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. I was really wishing I had that for this game.
It was annoying, but it's okay. But yeah, I agree. I think it's a good trophy list. I think it might have been fun to have some funny trophies, or like some trophies where you actually have to like
Do something.
try to, yeah, like, you know, synthesize your abilities by doing this, this, and this, or something like that. Some like bullet storm stuff.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
But it's okay. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would keep it the same. I like trophy lists that are like this because I can actually do them and not waste 100 hours of my life trying to get them.
Yeah. No trophy list can ever match or compare to our Resident Evil 4 trophy list.
No, don't be a fool. You guys should watch that episode. It's amazing.
It was really good.
This is my last fast one. Then the last one's just a discussion question we can finish off on unless you've got some.
Oh,
But,
I got fast ones for you.
Oh, good. Continue seeing the creepy, lifeless faces of Mass Effect 1 in your nightmares, or move on with your life.
Move on. Please.
Don't want to have to see them anymore. Their creepy beards and their flat heads.
And their eyes.
Their bulging eyes. They're horrifying.
They are awful.
But give me your fast ones, man. I'd love to get some of these bad boys. I catch them.
They're coming. If you were an alien race besides humans, which would you be?
Gosh. I'm not cool enough to be a Turian.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not wild enough to be an Asari. Or committed enough to be an Asari. And I'm not violent enough to be a Krogan. I feel like I'd be a Quarian. Quarians are pretty cool. I like Quarians. They're also, I think, really similar to humans. They're just like more reclusive, I suppose. But they're like really smart, and I like the way they think about stuff. And they're they own slaves and create life. So that's, I guess, good.
Yeah.
They're actually really bad. But I guess I'd be a Quarian. I don't know what that means about me. But what would you be?
I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like you're a lot like Garrus, but I might just be saying that because you're my best friend. So I don't know.
Yeah. I
you
could
hate laws.
I could see myself being those really short Turians with the gas masks.
Hey, the Volus. I love those dudes. I could be a Volus too. It's like a hobbit.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're just bitter about everything. Those guys are funny. I'd be. Oh, I really like the Elcor as well. The ones who like say what emotion they're having and then say what they're saying. Yes. Oh, those guys are awesome.
Guys are funny. I hate how slow they talk though.
Yeah, I just read everything and like read. Oh my gosh, the worst thing about this game. Why is the select button the same as the skip dialogue button?
I don't know.
It made me so mad.
It's not good. Be trapped in a room with Arachni or an angry Krogan that's charging at you.
Arachni.
Yeah.
Krogans are horrifying.
Krogans are death.
Yeah, I would much rather fight Arachni.
Who would you romance out of all the non-crew members?
Non-crew.
Like if there was a character that you met in the game, who do you romance?
I'm trying to think about who else we even met. Because there's like a million.
Mm-hmm. You want me to give you my answer?
Yeah, give me your answer.
It would probably be the daughter of the scientist on Pharaohs.
Oh, that's a good answer. She was cool.
Or the front desk lady on Novaria.
The one who turns out to be a spy.
Yeah. I think they would have been cool romance options.
My answer, for the record, is my wife. And no, I agree. For me, it was going to be the front desk lady who turned out to be C-Sec.
Mm-hmm.
She's cool. I like her.
Yeah. Be with Ashley for 50 years or anyone else for eternity.
Anyone else for eternity? That'd be wonderful. Right. Yeah. Gosh, dude. Ashley's
Which
a monster.
planet or system besides our own would you want to be your home?
Ooh. I can't choose Eden Prime because it is a hellhole. Can I choose the Citadel?
I guess you could. Yeah, why not?
I'd do it at the Citadel. I think it'd be super fun to live there. It's like living at the end of Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
But
no, I think that's a great answer. I think it's a great answer.
Oh, do you do?
You know, Vermeer is pretty cool, just how beautiful it is.
Ooh, Vermeer is cool.
That's or how beautiful it would be in my mind.
If the sand had texture.
Yeah, I think the Citadel is a good answer. Can't think of anywhere else, because everywhere else is a rock.
There's also a planet I really liked that had like a blue moon and a red moon.
Yeah.
Or like a blue star and a red star. And I think it was also green. I might have been there. Because there were a couple planets that were like really lush.
Mm-hmm.
They were the planets with the worst mountains, but they were the prettiest.
Yes.
So like, I might go there.
Would you surrender to the Reapers as like Saren does? Or would you fight back and most likely lose?
Oh, I feel like I'd fight back. But it really just depends. Like, am I there with my family? Like, if I'm there with my family...
So best case scenario, are you going to surrender to the Reapers to most likely survive and like they'll keep you and your family, but everyone else is doomed?
Everyone else?
Pretty much. Like, your entire race is doomed.
Dang.
Or do you fight back and everyone loses, pretty much?
I'd probably
most
fight
likely
back.
Loses.
The thing is, it's easy to say that, but I think that if you're there and he's like got a super Reaper blaster to your wife's and your children's head, you know, it's pretty hard to be like, kill him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like in real life, I have no idea, but nice egalitarian Josh would say, let's fight the fight and save our race.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather go through an Asari birth, like the one did on Pharaohs,
mm-hmm.
or be locked in a room with a sexually frustrated Saren?
I would be born again.
One of my favorite things that makes me laugh every time is when Saren rushes after Matriarch Benezia in the very beginning. He looks so angry. And he like grabs her face and her neck and stuff.
I know.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's so weird. What a weird scene.
Very odd.
And
Very
Benezia
odd.
is so ridiculous. Like the way she looks. It's like freaking like Lady Dimitrescu at this point, like the prototype version.
Pretty much. Let's see. I was going to ask you what would you change or remake, but I think we've already talked about all that stuff.
I think so.
What do you want from the new Mass Effect game that was announced not too long ago?
Oh yeah, Mass Effect will return.
Yes.
Gosh. What do I want, dude? I want a classic sci-fi adventure where the world is what matters. See, that was the problem, in my opinion, with Andromeda, is they created this incredible world, and then they just went to a new galaxy.
Yes.
Where they hadn't done anything. Like, I would be fine with, like, a Star Wars 1313 style story in the Mass Effect universe. Like, I don't need a story that helps me save the world. I'd love to just play on the slums of some planet in the Mass Effect universe and try to be like a CSEC agent who like tries to build a task force that takes down a drug ring, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't need a galaxy hopping adventure. I just want to be in the Mass Effect universe with Mass Effect aliens and Mass Effect characters and Mass Effect choices. Does that make sense?
I agree. I totally agree with you. Something that I was kind of thinking of is, what if you played in a game that took place when you first found the relays?
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
You
Like,
know.
you're, meeting the aliens and...
Yeah, meeting the aliens for the first time, going through that first, what is it, Presidium War?
Yeah, dealing with the Krogan War and the Rachni War.
I think that would be really cool.
Dude, that's a great idea.
But I love your idea where it's more just takes place in kind of one location, and it's because like part of this game loses its it loses the ease of exploring once you have to go between systems and stuff.
Yeah.
But if it all took place in one location or a couple planets, that would be really cool. Like, what if it was just one system that was really like fleshed out? I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, it could be the cyberpunk we deserve. You know what I mean? Because it's all run by these huge corporations, and the council could be like, this could be in the aftermath of the Reaper War, where the council's dead because you chose the right decision. And you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it could be really interesting. Like a place. It could be Garrus's dream, a place of total anarchy.
I like it.
You can just play as Garrus, just murdering everybody who you think is wrong.
When I was playing this game, because you brought up Star Wars, they would have made a great Star Wars game.
They did make a great Star Wars game.
Then
KOTOR.
That's right, they did.
This is the
KOTOR.
spiritual
But,
successor
like,
to KOTOR.
I mean, like, not a game like that, but
I
like
know.
a Mass Effect game. But then I thought, this is just better Star Wars, so
It
I don't
is.
need that.
It is better Star Wars.
It's
like,
just
isn't
way
that
better
wild?
Star Wars.
Like,
This, like, I don't remember a single alien race besides maybe the Ewoks from Star Wars, but I can remember and generally say that, like, oh, this is what this race is, and this is what this race is, and maybe it helps that it takes place kind of in our system because there's humans, but not really.
I think the problem with Star Wars is that it's, number one, it's not actually sci-fi, right? It's just more fantasy, because you're not at the point where, like in Star Wars, all the races already get along. Pretty much, like there's some that don't like each other, but pretty much everyone is just, they're all just humans, and some are big and some are small, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So
I totally agree with you.
I think that's what makes Mass Effect interesting, is like the interplay between the different races and like cultures. Whereas that's not really a thing in Star Wars.
I agree. Okay, I got, let's see. I think I only have one more. and it's kind of like a philosophical question for this game. But do you think God exists in the Mass Effect universe with all these aliens and stuff?
No, I think it's a really interesting question. Like, I think that certainly, like, some conception of God can certainly exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I think depending on a person's faith, even within Christendom, I think someone could certainly still believe in the same God they do in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really good question, though. There are certainly things that happen, like specifically the Reapers. I think the Reapers are the biggest contention to like whether there's a God or not.
A God or not, because they're creating us and they're basically giving us the blueprints to start a civilization just to kill us again.
Exactly. And the Reapers don't have a creator, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's like maybe there is just some evil god that made the Reapers.
Yeah. It's
like
just some sick twisted thing that they're doing.
But no, I don't really think there is a god after our conception in this universe.
Of the game. Yeah, I'm just talking about in the game.
No, yeah, I agree. And like, because I don't think it would really fit into this world. I can't think of how it would.
Because isn't Ashley a Christian?
I believe she is. Yeah, that's the impression I got.
I feel like there was some sort of dialogue where she was talking about
Mm-hmm.
being a Christian or something like that. But it's just interesting because, like, if you're a character in this game, would the knowledge of knowing that there's this alien civilization that keeps creating and destroying other civilizations after trillions of years, would that just erase would that like destroy your conception of there being a god, or would it destroy your faith of there being something greater? I mean, obviously the keepers or the Reapers are they're the bigger thing, but it's just something interesting.
No, it is. I think it would really depend on the person's approach. Because, like, obviously in the Mass Effect universe, like, Christianity sounds really weird. But then if you look at the Hanar, who have their, like, religion that they're preaching in the Citadel, and they're trying to get people to, believe that there's this life force that created life and that guides it and that allows it to continue. Like, that doesn't sound so far-fetched, you know? Mm-hmm. But it's also not that different from Christianity in the grand scheme of, it's a monotheistic religion. So it's like, it is interesting that the context really does shape how we think, and I don't really think that the Hanar would stop believing in their god because of the Reapers. Does that make sense? So I think it's like
for sure,
context thing, but it is interesting. I don't know. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
That's all of my fast ones though. Yeah.
But that was a good fast one.
But yeah, that's it for my fast ones. What's your last?
What happened to BioWare?
Fast one.
What happened? Because this game is one of the best games ever made. And Mass Effect 2 follows suit. One of the best games ever made in almost a different genre. Like, what happened?
I think EA happened. They're like, hey, you guys are going to make 2 games now. And now you have to use our engine that we use for first-person shooters. And you're going to have to shoehorn a big old open world game in it.
Awful.
So, I think EA happened. I think that EA got greedy again. And they were just probably not letting them have the creative freedom that they needed. Because Andromeda, I've never played it. I don't ever want to play it. Anthem is the same thing. I saw them and I was like, nope, something's missing there. And I think Andromeda and Anthem is missing the soul of Mass Effect. Because Mass Effect has so much soul and character, and you can tell that so much love and care was put into it. But I don't get those vibes at all from Anthem or from Andromeda.
Sad. What a sad note to end.
It really is.
To add on.
Yeah. Actually, if you feel down after listening to this podcast, you can go back and listen to our previous episodes.
Oh.
Where we gush about Tenet and remaking Resident Evil 4.
What a happy note to end on there.
There you go.
The Futon note.
And we got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart coming out next week. So stay tuned for that episode if you don't have a PS5 and you want to
Dirty,
hear all
dirty
the
little
dirty
spoilers.
details about Insomniac.
Yes.
And then, yeah, we'll be starting to play Mass Effect 2, or I will soon. I'm going to try to get that platinum first. But we got a couple guests lined up for those episodes and a big old Futon fight, maybe, perhaps. And then, yeah, we got some pretty cool stuff lined up for the next few months. And
exactly.
Yeah, stay tuned. Go back, listen to everything else that we've done, and give us that like, comment, and share. And
if you like this, tell your friends.
Spread the love.
And if you got a couple dollars, just send them our way with Patreon. We'd love to really get that started. We've been bad. We haven't really put it all together perfectly. But we know that our reward tiers, we want to be offering, these stickers and early access to videos and perhaps the opportunity to live with us. You never know. Maybe that's the highest tier. There's endless possibilities. So, and
not to mention, like, we're trying out these video podcasts now, which you're still going to see a few of the other podcasts where there's no video because we just recorded those episodes a while ago. But yeah, we want to get that Patreon started. We want to get better cameras. If you guys like this content and maybe not record on our laptops, which can barely handle it.
They're poor little guys. They're chugging along. You can probably hear the fans in the background half the time.
But yeah,
it's good. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys love Mass Effect. Comment below who you romanced and what your favorite part of being a renegade is.
Yeah.
How evil you are. That's what I want to know. But other than that, I think that's all we have to say. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks, Christopher, for showing up, and thanks again to everyone for subscribing on Patreon, on YouTube, and for interacting with us on Instagram and stuff. It's super fun. So,
yeah.
love you guys. Thank you so much. Adios.